Hello, welcome to another video of colorful codes. I'm Eric, and then last week we have created a mono report by lerna, which included 4 packages, and then 2 are for the front end, and 2 are for the ambient packages. So that the purpose is that we don't need to every time upload the package A and package B to npm to that so that front end A and front end B will be able to consume the packages. We can just simply use the stage package A and package B and in the local device, and then the front end A and front end B will be able to simply access the local stage package A and package B. So that is the main benefit of the mono report created by lerna. And today we are going to make one step further. We are going to improve our the packages. There are 2 approaches. One is in the runtime and another is in the compile time. In the runtime is for those front-end modules, and then in compile time is for these 2 npm package, so that the package can be much smaller than before, and then it will be able to improve the performance of all the clients consume the packages. Why? Because if we create a bunch of file onto the npm packages, it means that the client who consume the package need to download a bunch of file to their browser and then bundle it by themselves. It will probably high possibility to drive the performance down. Okay, so now and then we probably will need to also improve the readability a little bit. Why not? And then we will use the lerna feature to upload the mono report to npm module. So that's what we are going to do, and that is all the goals we need to do for today. And let's get into the code. Okay, this is the repository that we create last week. And then if you don't know that yet, I will just put the link down below, and then you can have a check. So, and then for those of you want to check the repository here, and then you can see here. Okay, now let's get into the firstly we need to improve the performance of the runtime, right? And then we will use the built-in feature of the Next.js called the dynamic import. And then we are going to use the firstly, let's get into the EVM DApp boilerplate, and then get into the app, and then we are in the code section. So let's run this code first to see if it is working fine. And then by using the npx lerna -- we need to define the scope, and then this will be the colorful live / and then the package name, or this one will be EVM DApp boilerplate. Oops, we need to round it. Okay, and then I think we don't define this yet. No, it's very easy to just have a typo here, so we use the copy paste, and then it should be fine. Okay, and let's go to check if the application is loading fine. And let's explain what is the dynamic loading rendering. So this is how the single page application work. So when the client load the page, and then the browser download all the JavaScript from the server, and then use those JavaScript, execute the JavaScript to create the HTML and then render it onto the web page. Okay, so that's how it works. And then just imagine that we have thousands of the HTML to be created by those JavaScript downloaded from server, and the server, if that is a lot, our browser need to execute the JavaScript quite a long time to generate all those HTML, even though some of the HTML is not visible in the first landing page. For example, in our page here, we have a select network, and then we have the approve token, and then but in the first render, we don't see what is the content inside the select network before we really click it. And then once we click it, and then we can see the content of the selected network. But those content has already been downloaded or pre-created inside our browser. So that just as you can you can imagine that if those things are a lot, it will drive our browser performance down a lot, as well as this one. If we click this one, and then you can see this page is also pre-rendered by default. So what we need to do is just we don't render this page, we don't render this content as long as the user doesn't click it. We only render it if user click it. Okay, so that's the concept. Without further ado, let's have a check of this. Now this is here, so what should we do? And then the thing is that very easy, we just import the dynamic from Next.js, and then we just define the component, which is exactly the same name as the previous one, and then we import it through the directory, and then we comment that out, original out. So it will help us to dynamic render the component. So we do all the same thing for the loading and then notify. Okay, so we comment it out, and then we comment those out. Okay, that's it. And then I think it will, let's save it, and then we can check. We can just run again, and then the page to see, let's see if the page is still working normally as before. Awesome, I think it is working the same as before, so that is what we expected. Now it is done. The dynamic importing is done. That's how easy it is. Okay, and the next thing is that we are going to back here, and then we can check. We need to make use of the TS up to improve the performance of the compile time, and then we are going to make the example of these packages, ms365. Good, and is inside the package .json, and once we get into it, we can check out the script here. We are going to make use of the package called tsup, and the tsup, we can have a check of the official documentation of the tsup. Okay, now it is the tsup, and then we can go to how to install it, and then we use this one, npm, we use this one, and then we will need to get to these packages, right? And then we just install it. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, once we install it, and then you will see there is a tsup here, and a version, and then now it means that we can make use of it. And then how to make it is that in the previous approach, we make use of the make use of TSC, the TypeScript compiler, to compile both the ES and ES module as well as common JavaScript module. But now we don't need it anymore. You will, in the previous approach, it will generate a bundle of the file inside the dist. But now we only need one file, because you remember that we actually only need one executable JavaScript file to let everything up and running. We don't need a bunch of the file structure. So this is how it becomes like useful, because this tsup helps us to bundle everything, every folder, every JS module into one folder, so that we will need to handle everything, all those a bunch of files, module files, and then just link together things, and then draw. The browser might have the possibility to like re-render the HTML or create HTML all the time. So this is how we do that. So now we just delete these two lines, and then we change. Okay, so this will be okay now tsx, and we need to define this format, and then we need the CJS as well as the ES module, and then we will need to generate the td.ts file, and then that's it. Okay, so let's try it out. Just keep in mind now we have a very big, a lot of files inside the disk, and now once we run it down build, and it will regenerate it using the ts up, and we can have a check. Awesome, right? So now it only has one index.js. This associates with the ES module, and this associates with the common.js module, common.js, and then this one also the same thing for the ES module, and then it also creates the type for us. That's awesome, right? It's much cleaner. And then now we go back to our packages.json, and then we need to make a little bit change. In previous approach we have the ESM, but we don't need that anymore, and then we need to change it to the MJS, right? And then here it has a CJS folder, but now we don't have, we have this only. Okay, that's it. And then also one more thing is that the types, we don't need to define the folder anymore, because it is here just under the dist folder. Okay, that's it. I think everything will be running as expected. Let's go check it. So remember that in our packet, in our front end, there is a front end A which consumes, oh no, it's a front end B which consumes the bus package A and package B. So we are going to run the package, the front end B, to see if the old application is running. Fine. Okay. Now this is the front end B, right? Front end B is the DAPPMS365. Okay, and then let's get into it. No, we don't need to get into it. We just need to use npx lerna, and then define the scope of this module, and then we can run that. Okay, then we again refresh the page, because it's under the localhost 3000, and then it is running on localhost 3000, and then it will take a little bit time. Okay, awesome. Okay, now it's working as we expected. Now everything working fine. Now we see this approach is working. Nice. Now we have done the performance improvement by running the dynamic import, as well as using the TS up to compile every files into one file. That's pretty awesome. And then the next step is uploading our packages onto the npm. Okay, so how to do that is that we will need to go to our loop lerna folder, and then define the npm. We can make use of this command npx lerna no private publish and from packages. Okay, so if you want to know more about it, you can check out the lerna official documentation, but we're going to make use of this command. We are not going to use the from git, because I've tried it. It has some issue for that, because it's kind of new, like it just released like 2-3 weeks ago, so I'm not gonna use it. I'm using this one. And then before doing implement this one, we need to make sure that we update the version onto the GitHub. Okay, let's try it up. Okay, now we can git add. Okay, we probably don't need to git add, right? Do we? Yes, we do. And then we use the yarn version. We will make it as a patch only because that is not a big, and we probably use it like a version minor. And then it will update our version, and then it has some issue. Please commit. Okay, let's commit it. Git commit, and then we will say this is imp optimize the performance by dynamic import and ts up compiler. Okay, then we can do it again. So awesome. Now the lerna helps us to change the version. These two are private, right? So these two will not be uploaded to the npm. Only these two will be uploaded to npm. That is why we are going to define the no private tag here. So are you sure you want to create this version? We say yes. So I think everything is running good. So 110, let's see if the GitHub repository take this effect. Okay, awesome. Now it's changed. Now we can go to upload this one to package. Before that, it's very important thing. Now we are going to upload our repository onto the npm. But now our our package is a monorepo instead of the single report repository. Okay, so that means that we are going to make use of the scope. So in our case, it will be everything under the colorful life, right? So the real package is here, and is here, but it will be under the colorful life. But in the documentation of the npm, it says that we will need to define the scope to make use of that. We will need to have define the scope here, and then so what does it mean? It means that we need to create an organization, and then that organization represent our scope. So for example, let's go to my npm packages. We will need to have there is an add organization here, and then you can add organization, and then you will need to create a new organization. So if you say like FFFF ABC, and then it means that it will be everything will be under the add ABC. So you can just do it for the unlimited public packages, or if you want to have the private packages, you can go for the pay version. Oops. Okay. Now after then you click create, and then go through all the everything, the steps, and then you will be able to see that inside the packages. Okay. You will see here there is a, I have already done that, so you will see there is a colorful life here. So now this is those two packages that I have uploaded before. So if you just newly create a new organization, you won't have it. You just empty. And then as you can see now, it is still 1.0.3, and then remember in our GitHub it's already updated up to 1.1.0, and here is still 1.0.3. So now we are going to upload it onto the updated 1.1.0 to our organization. So now just remember to define these packages define this command, the npm command script here, and then we can just simply doing the yarn publish from package, and then click enter, and then it will ask us to if we want to publish these two. Why not another two? Because these two are published because we defined it. We don't want to publish the private repository. Okay, now we click yes. Okay, now it seems working fine. Now successfully published this and this, right? Awesome. Let's go back here to check if it takes effect. Ooh, awesome, wonderful. Now it's already updated, and then we can have a check of the code. Remember that we changed the MS365 code, and well. Okay, let's see, let's have a check. Yeah, this is already tagged effect, make effect, but it is still, let's see. Okay, that's awesome, right? Now it has these three. Very simple, very easy. In the previous version, probably we can check out the previous version. Do we? Oh, here we can. Okay, so you can see now the total files here is 31, and then go to the code here, and then see the div, dist, and then you see the bunch of files. But if you go to the new version and then have a check of the code, and it's only 10 files, right? It takes like much smaller room for the npm, and then you can see here it's only 3. It doesn't have any file structure. That's awesome. So now we have done everything, so that's pretty cool. We can improve our performance, and then we can upload it to the npm with the very small packages. Okay, that's all for today. I hope this can be helpful for you. If you like it, please thumbs up, like it, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video.